Hey y'all, I'm Angela Barrett, and this is Talking South Carolina. Now y'all take a load off and listen, because no matter if you just moved here, thinking about moving here, been here your whole life, or you just plain nosy, bless your heart, I'll have something for you. Like, who's living in High Cotton? Who's madder than a wet hen? Places to go if you got a hankering for fried chicken, and where you can go to get drunk as Cooter Brown. We'll talk pig pickings, cow tipping, Tillions, hay rides, who's buttering whose biscuits, what's a case quarter, and lots of other stuff. So stay a while. Y'all, it's gotta be a hoot.
This episode of the Talking South Carolina podcast has been brought to you in part by HomeMattersSC.com, professional real estate services and marketing in the Midlands of South Carolina for people who want more. And by SimplyArlie.com, video editing, podcast production and consulting, graphic design, you name it. And now she's a realtor by day and a podcaster by night. Here's your host of the Talking South Carolina podcast, Angela Barrett.
Hey guys, thanks for joining today. I have Elizabeth Smith with me today. She is, well, a very busy lady. She has a lot of different hats that she wears. Hey, Elizabeth.
Hey, how are you doing?
Good.
Good.
Let's start out. I don't even know where to start, but we'll start with your photography, capture your happily ever after. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so Capture Your Happily Ever After. I originally started photography over 10 years ago, but I changed the name and started Capture Your Happily Ever After about 3 or 4 years ago. It's photography, videography, and coordinating. Capture Your Happily Ever After. I really chose that name because I felt like the capturing your happily ever after, like capturing someone's happily ever after, is very the cliche happily ever after. You know,
sure.
You find someone, you fall in love, you get married, is normally where that comes from. It's happily ever after. Well, I wanted to put in your happily ever after, indicating that it doesn't have to just be love that I do or engagement, wedding. It could be a number of different things. I mean, people can be fairly content and happy and find their happily ever after within a career path.
Sure.
It could be a graduation. It could be, having a baby, a new business opportunity. And so I really expanded from there.
Oh, and speaking of having a baby, you're due any day.
I am, yes.
Well, good luck and congratulations. And this will be your second, right?
It is, yes. Thank you. He will actually be 4 a day after she's born.
Oh, wow.
And I'll be going in 6 or 7 days.
Oh, wow.
So,
Wow. Well, congratulations. I'm excited for you. Sorry to interrupt, but I was like, she brought up.
No.
She brought up,
perfectly fine. Yeah. He's very excited. So he thinks, I don't know if this is going to be confusing for him for the next few years, but he thinks that for his birthday, he gets a baby sister. So I'm hoping next year he's not thinking that for his following birthday, he's going to get another sibling, because he tells everyone, he has a sibling coming for his birthday.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah.
Oh,
definitely.
That's fine. So you started, happily ever after, so you do a variety of different photo
Correct.
shootings. Yeah.
I don't work with newborns, so I just find that, newborn photographers, you have to have you have to specialize in that. And I say that because you really need to, I feel like a lot of the newborn photographers have props and backdrops, and it's just a lot that goes into it.
Sure.
Versus, there's a lot that goes into the other photography as well, but I just don't personally specialize in newborn photography. Anything else, I'm pretty much there.
Right. Good. Yeah, and I've seen some online. You do a great job. So again, we'll switch to another hat. Tell me about this. I'm curious. This Empowered Prosperous Connections.
Yeah. Empowered Prosperous Connections is a networking company that I came up with. And it was established back in August of 2023. And right now we have about 40 different business owners within the networking group.
Mm-hmm.
And
so how does this work?
Oh,
when somebody wants to join the networking group? Let's just say I want to join your networking group. What do I need to do? What are the qualifications? What are the requirements once you're there? Kind of give me that.
Yeah, mainly it's kind of like you would actually probably just reach out to me and we would discuss your profession, making sure there's not someone else within that same profession within the group, how long you've actually been doing the company, as well as, insurance, license, and just making sure everything is, legit when it comes to the business owner side. We also work with nonprofits. And so the nonprofits, just finding out, learning details. We work with, for example, nonprofits. There's the Hope Project with Chad. There's a mom's group with Shauna. And we have some business owners such as Ultimate Interior System, UPAT, and just I could go on and on. But it seems like around this area, I kind of started doing a little bit of networking at other groups before August, before I established my group. And I noticed a lot of what the groups were about was just mingling business owners and going to exchange practically just business cards and saying, hi, I'm so-and-so. And I really got tired of it. So in my group, we actually pick a professional to go ahead and speak within 15, 20 minutes in the group, really dive in deep to know, who you're going to be working with. So, for example, we'll say Kim, who is my admin for the company. He also works for other companies, Body Shop, insurance. So we have her speak for about 15, 20 minutes. The following meeting, we might have Suzanne with cleaning, talk about her business. And we might have a PowerPoint. We might actually go to their place of business. And then we'll have some food, some drinks, and then other people will mingle. We'll share some good deals. We'll get into kind of like business seminar stuff, go ahead and help with the businesses when it comes to marketing. We have Callie, and she can help out with website design. So it just really offers a lot more than the
meet and greet.
Regular,
yeah,
yes. So I really wanted to dive in deeper with businesses to get that connection going from one business to one nonprofit.
And so there's a fee.
Yeah.
You
we
pay.
do. Yeah, the fee right now is $150 every 6 months, and so we usually have 2 meetings a month, and it's normally every second Tuesday at 11:30 a.m. for about an hour and a half to 2 hours, and then the second meeting is the last Thursday of the month at 6:30, about 8:30. But normally, to be honest, it ends up going from 6:30 to 9:30, just because people are still hanging out, wanting to talk to other people. Kim and I, my admin, actually recently changed up the group, and it's very exciting because we'll be doing this towards the end of the year. We now have a public page for Empowered Prosperous Connections on Facebook, not just a private. And what we're doing is actually having the business owners meet the first hour. By the second hour, we're going to be opening up to the public. In other words, people that might be interested in learning about the business would be joining the meetings as well, the second hour.
Oh, well, that's neat.
We'll have the spotlight member talking. Yeah. So that'll be closer to the end of 2024. And it's exciting because, we're not just going to have the spotlight with business owners alone anymore. The second hour, it will also be maybe people that want to assist in the companies, interns, potential clients, anything from that nature.
Yeah. Well, that sounds pretty neat. I like the way you do it. There's network. That's what they say. And I'm like you. It's like, geez, if I went to every network group.
And yeah, I know.
That's
right?
a lot.
There's so many. Yeah. So it seems like, a lot of them are the meet and greet. So that's why I'm trying to get something out there a little bit more different.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it succeeds. We'll see where it goes.
Right. Absolutely. Well, good luck with that. It sounds like it's a great plan, a great program. Now, a different hat again, the Charleston, South Carolina wedding planner.
Yes. I am. I've been doing coordinating for some time with Capture Your Happily Ever After, but I wanted to establish a new company with the wedding planning, and it's more so other people working underneath the Charleston Wedding Planning Company versus more just myself out there. And we have, because I have the Empowered Prosperous Connections, I have a list of business owners as well that we deals with underneath the wedding planning through Empowered Prosperous Connections. And so it just seemed to make sense to have a different company with that. And honestly, that one has just been established, a couple months ago. The wedding planning can help with just about anything you need. Like I said, it even goes beyond wedding planning to get, the partnerships and the deals that I have with other vendors to really get the wedding to be smooth and to get within the budget of the bride or the groom or whoever.
Yeah, and today, this day and age, good Lord, at the price of a wedding. Holy cow.
Oh, yeah.
I've had some friends
definitely
who had kids get married, and they were telling me, well, we had to give them a budget, and they tell me what the budget is, and I'm thinking, oh, dear God.
Right. Well, the big thing is, the trick of getting married within the budget in this area is really going to be the time of year, number one. And number two, who you actually pick to help you with planning the wedding and all that stuff. Because if you have a wedding planner out there that doesn't know certain venues, doesn't know certain vendors, you're not going to find the best price. They might be able to help you find people, but they're not going to be able to find exactly what you want within your budget.
Yeah, I understand that. So clear something up for me.
Right.
There's a debate between my sister and I about this texting invitation. I understand that's a big thing, and I'm like, how inappropriate. But I mean, you got to remember how old I am. So, is that really a thing?
What is it again? Texting?
Yeah, it's a text invitation instead of getting a paper invitation.
Oh, yeah, that is definitely a thing now. So, like more of the digital side. I've helped out with seating charts, and when I help with the timeline. I really feel like the biggest thing for a wedding, the biggest thing for a wedding, even if you don't go with a wedding planner, you still need to have a timeline. And so I've worked, having a digital text timeline sent out, for example, as well.
It just baffles me. But again, I'm old school, where, some calligrapher wrote, by hand, all the invitations and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you got a what?
Right.
by text.
Right. And
Yeah.
so, I've seen, over the years, I think I've seen just about half and half go on.
Wow.
You have the paper invitations, you have the text, but I think it's increasing more with the digital text.
Well,
if
I would
anything.
imagine that there's a big cost. I mean, a
Mhm.
humongous cost.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, if you have, normally people work through Canva, canva.com, I think it is. And
Yeah,
you
very
can create
familiar.
all different types of things with that.
Yeah. I love Canva.
The
So most of the weddings that you help people with are in that Charleston area, all the way to like Somerville, or not that far, or
I try to stay within the Charleston limit.
gotcha.
I
Okay.
just did a wedding out in Myrtle Beach last month, but that was for photography and videography.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
Now you're on my stomping
Yeah.
grounds.
oh yeah, where are you at?
Well, I don't live there, but I grew up near there, and my family had a house
Okay.
close to North Myrtle Beach. Yeah, so
Okay,
but, yeah.
yeah, my
I feel like
family
I
did
lived
too
there.
as well. Yeah. I think I grew up until I was about 5 in Wampee, Conway, Myrtle Beach area,
Yeah,
and then we came down here. Yeah.
absolutely. So now, sort of on that coattail of your photography, you are also a magazine photographer for about 4 different magazines, right? So this is hat number 4.
Yes. Well, currently I am working photography with West Somerville neighborhoods, and that's like, I want to say 10 different neighborhoods out towards Dorchester, such as Legend Oaks, Ashboro East, and a number of different ones. Then I have Crowfield Living Magazine,
Uh-huh.
Game Bay Living Magazine, as well as Low Country Living Magazine, and that's with Nexton.
Uh-huh.
So if you're a family out in those areas, we can always go ahead and get your information and maybe go over to see if you'd like to be on the cover of that.
Yeah,
Of
yeah.
course, I'm not the editor or the publisher, but, we can help you out and get you over there.
Right.
To be on the cover and also do an inside article.
Yeah, and those magazines, I guess they have different criteria for how you get on the cover and you blah, 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 but that would be a phone call away as well, I guess. Now, a couple other hats you've got here. I don't know when you sleep, but anyway, we'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
So, you've also written children's books.
Yeah.
And so,
Yes, I have.
how many are there? 3?
Just 2.
2,
And
okay.
I'm practically done with the third one, but I'm holding off on releasing it until 2025.
Gotcha. And so now tell me the name. I know there's one, something Magical Woodland.
That was my first book,
Mhm.
and I started writing that during COVID. And that's actually when I had my first child. Sorry, he's actually talking right now. As soon as I started talking about him, give me 1 second.
Sure.
Sorry about that.
It's okay.
So A Step in the Magical Woodland, found at Barnes and Noble, as a video book. That was very exciting to get done as well. With We Dream SC with DJ Nico, and he really helped put everything together.
Mm-hmm.
We were in there for over 25 hours, I would say. And that can be found at Barnes and Nobles as well.
Mhm.
Audiobook. and I think it's on Play Store, a few other places. I went ahead and picked out some of the characters. Well, I picked out all the characters' voices. And
neat.
the dream, yeah. And so, like, in other words, Dan played Griff, Sebastian played Ben, a few others. And I really wanted to bring the book to life.
Sure.
And, a dream in a few years is to find a literary agent that kind of specializes in animation, so I could sell that to be a cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah. And so, mainly, the main character of A Step in the Magical Woodlands resembles my son, Benjamin. He also shares the same name. And he meets a bear named Griff in a magical land that came from his backyard. He also encounters other animals within the story, and the main lesson is paying it forward. So each, story that comes along within the book, one animal helps another, doesn't look for anything in return, and it continues on throughout the forest and the lands. Another animal, needs help, and so Benjamin goes ahead and pays it forward as well. So it's a very selfless story, lots of kindness, and lots of help without taking. And it's just a great adventure, mainly for 4 to 9-year-olds, I would say.
Neat. Yeah, and the characters, they're cute. But now I do have to say, the dancing dinosaur and the stinking monkey. Now, that's funny.
Right.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Thank you.
But so tell us, that's your other book. And so that came out, I guess, February of this year?
I think so. It was, maybe February or March of this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
And tell us a little bit about that one. I love the stinky monkey.
Yeah, well, pretty much my son, who is now about to be 4, I was really taking it in what makes him find things funny. And, of course, something being stinky for a 3 or 4-year-old is something hilarious.
Absolutely.
1. Number 2, dinosaurs, dancing, being silly. And I wanted to also create a toddler book. It maybe has 2 to 3 sentences max on each page.
Right.
And it goes into lots of questions, repetition, rhyming, something that at that age really makes the brain development
right, and holds their attention.
And
sure.
learn.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and holds the attention. So that's where I went with that book. And there's also an excavator in it, because tons of little boys and, some girls love excavators at this age, especially. So, yeah, and it's, I don't want to give away the whole story, but I guess this being a toddler book and it going into rhyming and repetition and, all that stuff, it's completely different from what I'm actually going to tell you about the story, from what you read in the story. And
sure.
For the parents out there, it's mainly about, a dinosaur that loves dancing. He gets lonely, and a stinky monkey comes along. So he tries to help the stinky monkey get clean, and they, start dancing together themselves and become best friends. So that's the gist of the book.
Yeah. Well, it's very cute. And I love the time. And I love, like I said, the stinky monkey. He's kind of cute.
Thank you.
So, you have, or in charge of, again, another hat. I've lost track of how many at this point. A pickleball tournament coming up in September. Tell me about that.
Yeah. So it actually is coming from Empowered Prosperous Connections. So
Your networking
that's
group.
the company that's yep, that's the company that's hosting it. And I got in touch with Peace Creek Recreational, and we now are hosting it at the Central Creek Park, 147 Old Monks Corner Road, on September 7th, 2 to 8 p.m. And the backup rain day is September 28th, 2 to 8 p.m. That is if it rains.
Right.
We have tons of family fun going on within that day. We have, I want to say, DJ Nico with We Dream SC will be out there between 2 and I want to say 6. We have Wild Current Live Band between 6 to 8. And it helps with the Charleston Animal. They'll be having foster dogs out there, I believe, between 2 and 4. Demetria with Forward, I want to say, Collection will be doing a dance performance around 3:30. We are in the works of discussing a possible flash mob, which is quite exciting.
Oh, that's hilarious. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
then,
again, this is to benefit the Charleston Animal Society, right?
Correct. And so, some of the vendors from EPC will be out there as well. The EPC is the networking company. And some other vendors, as well as food trucks, bartenders. I think that's about it when it comes to that. It's called the Sweet and Sour Smackdown. So while all the family fun is going on, the pickleball tournament will be in the background.
And for people who
Dana
want to
Price,
find out more or sign up for this, how do they do that?
Well, you would, I guess, reach out. I have a couple of different numbers. The main number for myself would be 843-345-7854. They could also reach out to Kim, who is the admin.
Is there a somewhere on a Facebook, one of your Facebook pages that this is on?
I just got the public Empowered Prosperous Connection, so I'll go ahead and share the link.
Yeah.
And the flyer onto that as well. Oh, and it's also on the www.empoweredprosperousconnections.com on the homepage. Scroll all the way down. You'll see the link.
Oh, cool. So if y'all are interested, and that pickleball is a serious thing. I know at least it is around here, so where I live. So it's like, wow. And it's, we have a 24-hour pickleball place now. It's like, what? Who's playing pickleball at 3 in the morning? But I guess they do.
Right. Yeah, I got the entire EPC group at 2 different meetings separately to vote, on different sports ideas or whatever. And pickleball was one of them. At that time, I really wasn't sure what pickleball was, to be honest. And we wanted to go ahead and advertise EPC, but also I have a passion for helping animals and I'm big into animal rights. So I chose Charleston Animal Society.
Yeah.
And then now it's my admin as well as some of my family members laugh at me. But I really wanted to learn more about pickleball. And so I want to say 3 weeks ago, so I'm 9 months pregnant. I did not run on the course. I did not do anything like that. But I had to go ahead before I had the baby, before the tournament. I said to myself, I have to learn how to play pickleball. I have to learn this. And so I went out on the court and I learned how to play pickleball a little bit here and there. And it's quite a fun sport, actually. I was thinking at first, there's no way I could do this. But it's actually, you have to bounce the ball, so it's not like a scary sport being pregnant.
Yeah,
and you can actually go at your own pace because the ball is bouncing and you're tapping it with your paddle versus some sports where the ball's just going pow and being thrown in the air at you. I'm like, no, I would never do that right now.
Right.
It was fun.
The way I described it, the first time I guess I ever saw it. I was like, oh, it's like ping pong on a tennis court.
Yeah, it kind of is. That's what they say.
Very
it's like
fast
a mixture
paced.
between
Right.
yeah, like tennis and ping pong on a court somehow.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
Elizabeth, so when do you sleep? That's what I want to know with all this going on, because I think we covered it all.
Well, I do.
Are
sleep
you
at
are you
night.
really just that organized? And if you
The
are, you need
biggest
to come and
thing-
help me.
Yeah, well, I could do that. That's also another reason why I do coordinating too, because I make sure I have lists down. The biggest thing is prioritizing every single night before I go to sleep. I write down a list of 10 things I need to do the next day.
Right. Oh, that's
in
a good
between
idea.
balancing a toddler, and I don't put it on a calendar. Surprisingly, I don't put it on.
And in a few days,
you know,
a newborn.
Yes, yes.
Good luck.
And yeah, I know, right? I actually already have everything set up, so it should be good to go. I have Kim on the next few EPC meetings. I have, for example, already have done the next 4 months for the magazines right now, and I think that I'm in a good spot, hopefully.
Yeah, well,
And
no
that's
doubt.
wedding
If
is
you
in
can
August.
if you can juggle all this, you've got it down pat for sure.
I hope so. Don't think so.
That's right. I won't. Well, Elizabeth, it has been a great pleasure to talk with you.
Good.
And I am in awe of you being able to do all that and well, I mean, with many successful businesses. I'm absolutely in awe, and I thank you so much for being here today.
Yeah, thank you so much. And then I just wanted to mention, since you brought that up, the success, I am very excited to share that Capture Your Happily Ever After is now 5-star. I want to say it just hit 400 5-star reviews within the social media platforms between Facebook, Instagram, Google.
Oh,
So that's very
congratulations. Wow.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Now,
And speaking of
You can
pictures,
find
when
me
you have
there.
that baby, make sure you send me one.
yeah.
And Big
for
Brother,
sure.
too.
Yeah, might take me a month.
Yeah, I
mean,
imagine.
I'll definitely get there.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Well, you take
I remember
care.
that newborn
and
phase.
thank you so very much.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Talking South Carolina podcast. To find out more about Elizabeth Gray Smith, go to CaptureYourHappilyEverAfter.com. She's available for photography, videography, coordinating, and drone footage services. Why not check out our website at TalkingSouthCarolina.com and follow us on social media. You can subscribe to the show on Spotify, YouTube Music, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and on your favorite podcast apps. For information about being a sponsor on the show and on the website, contact us at area code 803-386-9885 or email us at angela@talkingsouthcarolina.com. This episode has been brought to you by the friendly folks at Giraffe Marketing. Find out more at giraffemarketingllc.com.
I'm gonna be the best version of me. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, roar like a lion, and I ain't even trying. No, no, no.